This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Inside the Runner Studio. This is your host, Tom, and with me as always are Aaron, Michael, and Diana.
Hello.
Hello.
Almost messed that one up.
I did not. Well, I'm slightly intimidated.
Yes, because we just found out we have a famous TikToker.
I'm just saying. Or the dog father of a famous TikToker.
Dogfather, yeah.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for reaching out. We appreciate it. So we understand that you found out about us, or you heard about us through the On the Runs podcast. Is that right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been listening to them since day one. I started running about the time they started the podcast. So I heard Eric on yours at some point, and then I kind of started following you guys, and I reached out to you, and here we are.
I'd like to say that we would have the same level of energy as Eric, but he really sets that bar kind of high.
Yeah.
He's a Bruins fan.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get to know them? Because you're in Canada, correct? And they're the New Hampshire crew.
Yeah,
so.
just searching Spotify for running podcasts.
Okay.
I don't listen to music during my runs. I listen to podcasts and anything that can kind of help and give me some tips. Learning on my own during COVID, and I found them, dropped them a follow, and yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
Very
great.
cool. All right, so you know the drill. We're going to ask you some running related questions, some non-running related questions, and get to know you. But before we do you want to introduce yourself a little bit and then tell us, when you started running and how you first got into it?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Josh Rayom. I'm Canadian originally from Nova Scotia. I currently live in Ontario, about 4 hours north of Toronto. 34. I think I'm 34 years old.
I know that
I had
feeling.
to Google my age the other day. I work as a geoscience coordinator for a mining company, and recently started my own business as a public speaker, more specifically right now, kind of working on motivational speaking.
Cool.
Also, I'm an asthma advocate, so I kind of, as much as I can, I like to promote asthma awareness and work with non-for-profits and whatnot to kind of spread that education out there.
Is that what you public speak about? Mostly?
Most of the time, yeah. As of right now, that's where my speech is kind of aimed towards. But
Okay.
I am kind of working on, more about talking about motivation, perseverance, and overcoming obstacles. I got into running. I lost 100 pounds. And,
Oh, wow.
I went from taking my puff for every 100 meters to running a marathon without taking it. So
wow.
so to kind of talk about this and what is possible, especially for someone like myself, it's kind of just led me in this direction.
Yeah.
awesome.
It's an interesting transition from whatever you said about mining to
Oh yeah. Yeah,
to public speaking.
definitely.
Yeah, and just so you know, before we started to record tonight, Tom yelled at Erin that she wasn't allowed to overshadow your asthma talk with her cancer talk. So
What?
This is actually true.
Listen,
I feel like
I'm
Look.
not the one who brought this up.
Look, there's room for everybody. There's room for everybody.
Oh, goodness.
I'm not the one becoming a motivational speaker
That's
about
true.
anything.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
yeah.
I love it. Well, we're so happy to have you.
All right, cool. So I think we're going to jump right into the running related questions, and Diana's got our first one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, are you a trail runner or a road runner, and why?
I'm a healthy mix of both. Where I live here in Sudbury, we have a good mix of trails, good mix of road. I love road running. I mean, I run marathons, or the kind of races I do, but
Yeah.
I get shin splints. So I try to take things to the trail as much as I can, a little bit easier on the legs and the knees
Yeah.
overall. But good healthy mix of both.
That's
I
awesome.
feel like living in Canada, there's a lot more wilderness than in the United States where we are. It's probably got some good trails.
I'm in a town of 2,500 people. I'm surrounded by bush for hours and hours on end. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, certainly no shortage of that.
For sure.
All right. What is the worst day you remember running, racing, or otherwise?
Oh, that would no doubt. So I ran a marathon in May, end of May of this year. It was my second marathon. My goal was to go sub 4 hours, which I did achieve. But the night before, as I should be carb loading and stocking up on electrolytes, I was puking. I was on the toilet.
Oh,
I had an
Cool.
absolutely horrible time. Didn't get any sleep all night, and then in the morning I'm taking Pepto. I'm puking, and I get to the start of the race, and I load my pockets with Pepto Bismol and chewable
God.
Gravol,
That's amazing.
and I ran that, and I didn't have any energy, no power. I still did my goal. I achieved my marathon 3:58.
That's insane that you managed
But-
to still keep your goal.
Nice. Very
Well,
nice.
I'll tell you, I did not urinate for 2 days straight.
Oh
Oh,
God, you're so
yeah, no,
dehydrated.
oh man, my body was so dehydrated.
Oh.
I feel like this is only a story a runner could understand
Yeah.
and or tell.
Oh yeah, for
The
sure.
stupid decisions we make.
Well, I ran it with a buddy of mine, and he stopped 5 times on the course to use the bathroom, and I didn't have to. So I mean, I guess it had
Just
its
kept powering. Kept powering through.
Power
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
God.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And I don't know if we had mentioned this before we actually started recording with you, Josh, but that was a goal race, and you took over an hour, right, off your first marathon time.
I took an hour and 25 minutes.
Oh my!
Yeah.
That's
I just
incredible.
saw, right before
Yeah.
we recorded, I was checking out your Instagram and I saw that in your profile, like a 5:20 something to like a 3:58. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, 6 months. 6
Now,
months.
crazy.
did you follow a trajectory of like 5K, 10K, half, full?
I mean, yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to think back to it now, but my goal when I started running was just going out there and going as hard as I can, getting a 5K PB. Started getting sore knees, sore shins right away, and then I kind of tapered things down. And I guess that would have been my trajectory.
Very cool.
Overall, for me, it was just going as far as I can for as long as I can without taking my inhaler.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hmm.
All right. So, do you prefer group runs or solo runs?
Solo runs. Yeah, for sure. I love the group runs. We have some really good ones here. They're mostly trail runs, but I'm still not a super confident runner. I still feel weird about taking my inhaler out if I need to, and I suffer social anxiety. So while I try to break down those barriers, I have a good time running on my own. I like putting on a podcast and just kind of getting lost in my own head.
It's
That's
interesting that you're a public speaker who has social anxiety. I feel like it's kind of like Michael, who's on a podcast, and then people find out he has social anxiety, and they're like, he talks all the time. I feel like that's a theme.
They're different things, interpersonal versus.
I guess I can compare it to studying for a test. I'm nervous when I'm going in to write a test, but nobody can I can't study about myself.
Yeah.
I can't really get it wrong, and maybe I guess I would compare it to that.
All right. So the next question is, what is your favorite or most memorable sign that you've seen on a race course?
So on my first marathon of 2, so I ran the TCS Toronto Marathon last October, and I remember approaching this pretty lady that was holding up a sign that said, "Good-looking husbands run marathons." And I had the biggest smile running by, and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know if she knows me, but I'm assuming that sign's for me.
There you go. Might as well have been.
It might as well
That's
have been.
right.
It kept
Right.
me going.
Oh, that's
That's
so cute.
It's funny.
Oh, I love that. So also aligned with a race day. Do you have a race etiquette pet peeve?
Oh, yeah, 100%. So getting those goos stuck to the bottom of my feet and becoming part of me for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not a
and
huge
then-
fan of that.
And then even when it comes off, sometimes your shoe is sticky forever.
It's like when you get, gravel in between your shoes somewhere.
Yeah.
Same idea,
Yeah.
but you got a goo. And yeah, I mean, how hard is it to take your goo and kind of chuck it to the side? I would say that's definitely my race day etiquette, pet peeve.
Yeah. You're definitely aligned with Michael, who hates trash on road races.
Right.
True.
Just trash in general.
It's true. People send him videos of them specifically throwing their goo into trash on
Yeah,
purpose.
they do. I've converted many people to trash
Yeah.
cans during races.
It's a radical idea.
Yeah.
Radical opinion.
You can go start somewhere.
We're going to move into the random questions, but Michael highlighted one of the ones that I said that you didn't want.
Did I?
Yes.
All
I
right, then
literally
skip
said
that.
don't do that one.
Oh,
that's the
my
only
bad.
one that he said he didn't have an
I
answer
misread.
for.
Then don't do that one. That's fun.
Not in
I
front
blame
of Josh.
ChatGPT for selecting that number. It had nothing to do with me.
Okay. All right. So, peruse really quickly. Out of order.
We're trained monkeys. We just
I
read
was
what's
gonna go.
highlighted.
I know. I was gonna go with. So, what was your? All right. We're gonna move into the random questions. What was your first job, and what did you like or dislike about it?
Yeah, so I grew up working on a farm. I picked strawberries. I cleaned potatoes. I didn't do anything too exciting.
I cleaned potatoes.
I fed cows.
Oh.
I liked it. I was driving a pickup truck when I was 11 years old.
Everything about you is fascinating. Like everything that you've said so far is like so shocking to me. Like,
I'm a typical Canadian for sure. Yeah, we're working on a farm. First job, absolutely loved it. Didn't hate it at all. What I do hate is working. At the time when I started, 11, 12 years old, whatever it was, I was making $5 an hour and working 14-hour days, and it was hard work. Yeah, so it's rewarding. I mean, you're outside, you're really hanging out all day with a couple guys. I enjoyed it, but a lot of work for not a lot of pay. A lot of respect for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard, Dad. That's grind and work. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza, without a doubt.
Ooh, that's a good
wow.
Yeah,
And-
pizza any day.
choice.
And how do you take your pizza?
I usually just cheese with extra sauce.
Oh.
I'm vegetarian, so I try not to eat meat. But I will take cheese, extra sauce, and like an jalapeno cheddar dip, and I will probably have 2 dips per slice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
That is an interesting way to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try it one day.
You will not be disappointed.
It does sound good. All right. So, what is your favorite brewery / winery / cidery?
I've gone to Amsterdam a few times when I was younger, and every time I go, I find myself kind of gravitating back to the Heineken brewery. Yeah, it's a cool experience. I love the beer. Yeah, I guess it'd be Heineken brewery.
Very
Do
cool.
you find that it tastes different directly from Heineken than it does in Canada?
No, not at all. All taste the same.
yeah.
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 I mean, they say Guinness tastes different, but when I had it in Ireland, I thought it tasted the same. So I feel like they say the same thing about Heineken. So I was just curious.
They just want you to go there. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I like Heineken because it's like a good like classic beer just to like have. Like it's just super easy. I never thought about that because I went to Amsterdam and I didn't think about going
No.
to Heineken.
Yeah. I don't know. Heineken's a super versatile beer too. If you don't like alcohol, they got the 0.0 and it tastes identical. To it.
A lot of them are doing the 0.0 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice.
Which is
I like
nice.
That,
Yeah.
All right. Oh, what is the worst food you've ever eaten?
Scallops. Hands down.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I grew up on the East Coast. I've tried scallops probably every year while I was there, hoping that, hey, maybe I'll get used to it. Maybe I'll like it. They look like chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Not the case. Even returning, to Nova Scotia a couple of years ago, trying it again, I will puke everywhere every freaking time.
Oh my god! Is it like all
It's the
seafood,
texture.
or is it just okay? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could eat lobster. Love lobster.
Oh, that's interesting because lobster kind of has like a spongy-ish like texture too.
Scallops are really easy to screw up, though. So I feel
That's
like,
fair.
yeah,
I do agree with that. Like they're either overcooked or if they're undercooked. Yeah, a scallop is real hard. It's real easy to overcook. All right. Do you prefer the solitude of the wilderness or the bustle of a city?
I have a hard time in the city. I feel kind of like claustrophobic. Just not for me. I like kind of, the solitude of the wilderness. Like I said, I live in the bush. Do a lot of camping, do a lot of hiking, exploring. Side by side riding. Take my dogs for hikes all the time. Yeah, I like the quiet, the peace. I don't hunt. I enjoy animals and enjoy just kind of seeing them, running into them. I find in the city, obviously, you might see a cat or a dog.
Have you ever tried to pet a bear?
Don't do that.
I haven't tried to pet a bear, but I have some bear situations for sure.
Because Michael yelled at me when I tried to take a picture of a bear, and it was pretty far away.
It wasn't that far away, and we were in Whistler on the side of a mountain.
Oh yeah, big brown bear, I'm sure.
He was cute.
Yeah, and he's also fast.
Oh yeah.
What kind of bears have you run into?
My first ever run I did was in college, and I decided at night. I told this to Eric on Eric and Eric on the runs, but I went for my first ever run. I left residence. It was nighttime, and perfect. Nobody would see me run. I can't mess this up. And on a back road where I couldn't see anything, maybe a kilometer into it, there's this bear walking towards me in the middle of the road.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I decided then to turn back and run as fast as I could. We do have a lot of bears up here, as well.
Yeah, I would imagine you do.
Yeah. A lot of bears up here for sure.
Do you subscribe to the Michael camp where if you're like doing a trail run and it's very peaceful and you hear someone coming up and they have like a external speaker like blaring music, do you get irrationally angry?
I do. I feel like there's a time and a place.
There you go. Whenever I encounter it, I'm like, Michael would hate this.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat.
It ruins that peace, that serenity that you're there for.
Right, 100%. There's you want that kind of thing, go to a rave, go to a party.
Yeah.
Sit on a dock,
There's definitely places for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we move into the James Lipton Memorial questions. And of course, we start off with, what is your favorite word?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Oh, man, I got a lot of favorite words. There's some good words out there.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, I like the weirdest thing. I like the word landlord. I don't know why. I feel like it's a weird mix of two words in one. Landlord, who could be a lord of land. And least favorite word, probably I don't like poop. I don't like poop or crap or
okay.
It's
very fair.
That's because you've got littles at home and you're overwhelmed right now.
100%. That is exactly it. And I've had moments. They've had moments.
It's hard to follow that, but
especially with this question.
Josh, what turns you on?
Well, not that.
That's fair.
Yeah, what turns me on? Oh man, so much. But what do I want to divulge to you guys?
Share with the
world. Yeah, honestly, I don't have a lot of downtime these days. What turns me on right now is some time to myself, whether I'm at home or I'm outside with. I got two phones. I got a work phone and my personal phone. If I don't have to take them with me and I can kind of disconnect, that is a huge turn on to me right now.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love
and then
that.
On the other side of that, what turns you off?
Probably changing diapers.
Yeah,
very fair.
I've got twin girls. They're still under 2 years old. They're potty training right now. Yeah, I guess changing diapers and cleaning a potty.
Yeah, counting it down.
That's
You're
fair.
Almost there.
I'm almost there. Yeah.
All right, and then our next question is: what sound or noise do you love?
I like the sound of a guitar. Anybody playing guitar? I play myself. Guitar is something I could, run in solitude in the middle of a forest and hear someone playing, and I probably wouldn't be annoyed.
Yeah.
I'd say anybody that knows how to play guitar. It's my favorite.
Nice. And then what sound or noise do you hate?
Well, going back to the babies, crying babies, screaming babies, easily number one. I'd say number one is probably any alarm that I set on my phone.
Yeah.
No matter what that is, including the one that sounds like a guitar. I don't like that one.
All right. What is your favorite curse word?
I'm classic. F this, F that. I'm having around my girls. I'm trying to say fudge.
There you go.
But I'm having a hard time.
Oh yeah, because once you start, you can't stop. Because both my niece and nephew, they're 7 and 4, and like they're swearing, and I'm like,
no.
oh no.
So
my brother's like, it's her fault, not mine.
Oh man, try not to.
Try not to.
That's it. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I've always wanted to be a doctor. I've always wanted to help people, to kind of go down that path. I was never smart when I was growing up in elementary school, too busy battling, my demons and my asthma, which was really severe when I was a kid. So I didn't really think about the future. Had I, thought about it and been able to really think about it as a kid, I think I would have, done my best to be a little bit better at school and, and just become a doctor. Specifically, I'd love to be a pediatrician.
Oh,
wow. I absolutely love that. Even a nurse, anything really that you're helping people, I feel like it'd be super rewarding.
That's awesome. And what profession would you not like to do?
Probably be a dog groomer. I love animals, love them to death. But I do not want to start hating them. And I feel like if I started grooming them, I'd probably hate them.
That's an excellent answer.
Thank you so much.
It is.
Yeah.
And I mean, plus I have allergies.
I'm literally still sitting here watching his dog put laundry into the washing machine right now. In case you were wondering what I'm doing.
Meanwhile, we can't get ours to sit on command.
I want nothing more than for this dog to become an influencer. I feel like neither of us have the drive for it. But Josh, thank you for being on. I have the privilege of asking you our final question, but we really appreciate your time today. So, Josh, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I made a mistake. You can go back now.
Yeah, that might be the best one we've got.
Hey. That's a good one.
Yeah, probably something along those lines.
Are there
bad.
Are there any shout outs you'd like to give? Anything you'd like to plug?
A huge shout out to. So right now I'm doing a campaign for Asthma Canada. Asthma Canada and I collaborate a little bit. So I do some advocacy work in regards to asthma and the asthma community. Kind of just getting out, education to people that might not know, and not just, people that are specifically asthmatic, but just the greater running community. When I started running, I had severe asthma. And as I've ran, I've continued to condition my lungs and get better. So my life is drastically better. I can go hiking without taking my inhaler. I can, spend a day without bringing my inhaler with me. And I could never do that before. So yeah, I just like to, kind of plug that and say, you might be told when you're young that something is not possible. But as you get older and you become a little bit more daring and brave and get fed up with shit, really, you might find yourself down a rabbit hole of learning to be better and kind of overcoming those obstacles. And that's what I did. And now that I've realized I have so much more potential than I thought I had, I'm just really here to manage my social media account at the Asthma Runner and just tell other people my story in hopes that they can, get out of a similar situation before they get too old.
If you send me the links and some information, I can put it into the show notes. Michael, remind me that I said that, and
I will, because I edit, so I will know that. I will hear that.
And any links or tags or anything on posts or Instagram or Facebook that you want.
And your TikTok famous dog as well.
Oh yes,
I'll send that along.
I would have put that in there anyway because I'm now obsessed.
I know you're
obsessed. Yeah.
All right,
Right
well,
on.
well, Josh,
appreciate
thank you
that.
very much. We really appreciate it. And I guess I will awkwardly say goodbye, and we'll talk later.
Bye. Thanks, Josh.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks for having me.